Da, 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 da. What's going on, nerds? This is episode 16 of The Nest with the one and only, the almighty, His Holiness himself, the Lord of poor podcasting, Michael Keller. Thank you for tuning in to episode 16, and thank you so much for sticking in for that long 6 to 7 day break between podcast episodes. I know that you were just foaming at the mouth, ready to fucking bust one, just waiting for another episode to drop, and I had shit to do, so sometimes greatness takes time, and sometimes the best things are worth waiting for. But no, I've just been super stressed with fucking school and didn't feel like doing anything. That's weird how that works. Like, I don't know. I know other people that are like, the second they have something to do or get stressed, they'll just fucking do it, so they're not stressed anymore. I wait until the point where, like, just doing the thing is less painful than, like, worrying about it. Like I get to the point where I'm so stressed and I'll just be like, fuck it. Doing the work can't be as bad as, like, not being able to sleep at night because I'm so stressed out about what I have to do. But I got some shit done today, so that's why I'm back on the air. On the air. As if I'm not fucking just recording this in GarageBand like a turd. But, I just had a burger. I haven't made a burger in a while. And I put a lot of, like, onion and garlic powder on it. With I season the fuck out of my burgers. Because I do it in, like, the cast iron skillet. So all the juices coagulate and such. And do osmosis things in the pan. There's, like, science happens in the pan. Instead of a grill where all the coals underneath get all the food, the good drippy flavor. And I put a bunch of seasoning on it, and I'm pretty sure that seasoning is what's making me produce such heavy, thick, gaseous Agent Orange farts right now. I'm going to stand up, and there's just going to be like a hole burned in my couch. And it's just going to smell like that onion powder and Heinz ketchup and whatever other garbage I've been eating recently. But anyway, sitting here literally back in the nest. I got my Explorer's hat on, which if you follow the Instagram, I remember I said in the last episode last week I was going to tag the Instagram page, and I just never did because I forgot. But if you're listening, go follow. It's the Nest Podcast _ at the end because some asshole has the real page without the underscore. Let me look at what the real one looks like. The Nest Podcast. Oh, it's like a sports thing. That's so lame. That's so lame. Sports, video games, movies, TV, and more. So it's literally, I remember looking at this. Nerd entertainment. Yeah, that just lends itself to a large audience group. It's like, oh, listen to the podcast. And with the name, like, you know how sometimes podcasts, it'll be like, or not even a podcast, but I'm a big fan of, like, The Bonfire. And they always say, like, yeah, you're campers. Things like that. It's like, oh, yeah, I listen to the Nest Sports Podcast. We're the nerds. Like, that's fucking real creative. But, or that's just really reassuring. Also, what a great insult. I was looking up insults from back in the day. Let me pull up some 50s. I just looked at 80s, but they weren't that good. 50 plus old-fashioned insults. Let's see. I feel like nerd isn't really an old one. A blunderbuss, a short gun with a wide bore for carrying slugs. Also a dumb, blundering fellow. A fop, a man of small understanding and much ostentation. A nerd fucking wrote this shit. A nervous, fidgety person is a fuss budget. A ginger snap is a hot-headed person. Or a ginger, I'm guessing. A Grumbletonian. Dude, how are you actually going to say that in any sort of serious to someone to, like, try to make fun of them? Like, oh, look at this guy. Look at this fucking Grumbletonian. Wah. A milksop. One who's devoid of manliness. I kind of like that one. Fucking milksop. Nincompoop. That's a classic. Dude, I'm going to start using that. That's going to be my new insult. It's like, that guy's a fucking nincompoop. You never hear that. You never hear that used, and that's such a good one. Imagine saying that. Imagine saying any of these when you're about to get in a fight, like you're just outside of a bar. It's like, come on, hit me, you fucking nincompoop. Come on, you rascal. There's some others in here. A skinflint. I've heard that one before. A miser is what a skinflint is. So just like a cheap person. A wrinkler. A person prone to lying. 1950s slang. Let's see some 1950s slang. Apple butter. Smooth talk or flattery. I don't get how you would use that in a sentence. Baby. Cute girl. Hey, baby. Oh, I was watching the fucking Twilight Zone. First off, before I get into that episode, did you guys know that the guy who does those, the intro dude, Rod Serling, is 5'4"? He's a little guy. And from that weird little guy mind came that crazy fucking show. And I noticed too in all those like intro things, the camera is always slightly pointing up at him to not make him look like a fucking midget or a littler person. And it's funny too. I looked him up for whatever reason, and I just got enamored with the 5'4" height thing. And then I went on his Wikipedia page, and it said, number one, he died at 50, which I thought, like, holy shit, that's young. And then, the next sentence I read was, like, he was used to smoking 3 to 4 packs of cigarettes a day, which is fucking insane. That's so many. And I thought that sounded about right, too, because in some of the intros of those shows, he's like he'll just be smoking. He'll just be like he couldn't take 20 seconds to intro the show without like putting his fucking cigarette down. But yeah, little guy. But back to the other thing, like the insults or whatever. Baby. Yeah, baby. I was watching this one episode of the Twilight Zone, and it's like this guy, I forget what the name of the episode is. It's like a nice place to visit. Let me see. A nice place to visit. No. What the fuck? Okay, so I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing, and it looks like I had a nice place typed in, and I clicked on the thing under a nice place to visit, And from what I can tell, in Dade City, Florida, there is just a place called A Nice Place. A Nice Place, Florida. Hang on, I gotta fucking... Oh my God, that's the highest thing I've ever seen in my life. You know how there's like road, avenue, street, court, things like that, and then there's place as one of them. This one's called A Nice Place. That's the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. You know what? Whoever made that is a nincompoop. They are a complete fucking nincompoop. Oh my God. Only in Florida would some dumb shit happen like that. A nice place to... And now I search that up, so like fucking the FBI is going to think I'm a lunatic. Yeah, A Nice Place to Visit. That's the name of the episode. Air date, April 15th, 1960, for all of you almost 60-year-olds tuning in. You might remember this episode pretty well with the burglar guy and the chubby man who but yeah, the whole thing is like this guy's supposed to be like this crook or whatever. Like I don't know, he's like an old-timey robber. First off, I don't get how you get caught in that situation. Like, he's robbing like this giant jewelry store and just like one shitty police car comes after him with one cop after so much time goes by. And he gets fucking caught. And in the episode, he gets shot or whatnot. And then this guy wakes him up, this chubby man. And he takes him to this nice place, but it just turns out he's like in hell or something. But the whole, like the guy, he has that really classic, like, yeah, 50 style voice, man. And he keeps calling the one guy Fats. It's like, yeah, let me talk to you a minute over here, Fats. And the whole episode is like he can get whatever he wants, but that just makes life really uninteresting. And that's hell somehow, where you get to live in like a nice apartment. Like his biggest thing is like, yeah, I can fucking gamble, but if I'm always going to win, what's the fun of that? It's like, why don't you just do something else that doesn't require like he's like, it's all made up. It's all just fake. Even the dames here, even the broads aren't real. They're just here to please me. I'm just like, I still don't see the issue with what you're like. You just want more conflict in your life. Like, just do things that don't rely on like outside, like gambling. Like, I don't know why he would even go to that casino for a month and just keep winning. Like, just go, like, if you can do anything, why don't you, like, ride a ATV or something? If they had those in the field. Like, you just do race car stuff. Or, fucking learn an instrument. Or, like, anything. He just keeps doing the same thing over and over. And he's like, this is hell because I'm bored. What am I going to do here, Fats? Even the dames don't know what they're doing. And, yeah, that just fucking annoyed me. Because that's, like, I get that that's supposed to be, like, the whole, like, oh, my God, hell is, like, it's really tricky there. You don't know exactly what it is. And it's, like, it doesn't seem that bad. Like, it would have been great if, at the very end, instead of it just being like, oh, yeah, this is going to be your life for eternity, if someone came and just, like, ripped his skin off and the devil just started, like, raping him while he was, like, lit on fire. And it's like, this is hell. And he's like, Fats, come on. The fat guy just fucking rips his pants off. But, I used to really be freaked out by some of those episodes, but the older I've gotten, the stupider that show has become. Just because I've seen so many things that are actually, like, freaky, or that I find freaky movie-wise. Like, I've been, what was it? Oh, yeah, I forget if I mentioned it on here, but I really want to rewatch The Thing. It's not even, like, that scary of a horror movie. It is pretty like suspenseful and pretty smart with the way they do it, like how you don't know who's been assimilated or not. And he's got Kurt Russell in it with that awesome flow. Dude's got a great head of hair in that movie. I'm jealous. With that cool like pilot jacket. But too bad he gets like blown the fuck up, I think. I don't know. They don't really say what happens at the end. But that movie is just proof that like practical effects blow any kind of CGI out of the water. Because CGI, like when you see it, you just like even though the practical effects isn't like whatever's happening isn't real, like that scene with the dog, like even though real tentacles aren't shooting out of a dog, like there was still something coming out of a thing that looked like a dog in real life. It wasn't a computer generated fucking thing. And to me, like that shit, it just makes it look grosser and creepier. But that movie's funny, honestly, when you like just rewatch it. Just like how fucking insane the shit that happens. Like when the guy's chest opens up and bites the guy's fucking arms off. Like, dude, like those must have been the most fun, creative meetings to have for that movie. Just like picking how each person is gonna die. Like more, like I always thought it'd be a fun job would be like being in the creative room for like coming up with Mortal Kombat fatalities. Just like, we could rip the guy's head off, shove it up his ass, and then pull the tongue out through the belly button and, start spinning the guy around like a fucking top. Just doing like insane fucking shit. I always thought that'd be fun. I was thinking about The Thing, and there was something else I wanted to bring up too. About things to watch. I'm getting tired here, boss. Yeah. I'm from the 50s. Fuck that time period. That'd be boring. I always think I would love to go back there for like a week and hang out like fucking Marty McFly style. Dude, I like how it's really just kind of glossed over how big of a creep his dad is in that movie. Like the lengths he was going through to just spy on that chick naked, like climbing trees. That'd be so that'd be like so insane. Like even back then, that's like creepy. But today, that's like by today's standards, like with the internet, if you're literally like scaling walls and climbing trees just to see a pair of tits, that's fucking insane. No one is doing that. And just to think back then, like you would just get like shooed away. Like they'd just be like, oh, and they'd freak out. They'd be like, get out of here, get out of here. And then that's pretty much it. Like maybe like you would want to just avoid that house or like the dad will like beat the shit out of you. But that's still in like the boys will be boys era. When just weird, like, sexual assault was just chill. Like, when Marty comes back, why isn't he like, hey, Biff, I saw you, like, groping my mom in the streets of the town. Just, like, in full view of everyone. Like, it's nothing. I also love in that movie, too. I forget if I mentioned it on a previous episode, but, there's that one scene in the lunchroom where Biff is like, once again, just harassing, so blatant, like sexually harassing Lorraine, just like grabbing on her and stuff. And Marty comes over and he's like, hey, get your meat hooks off her or whatever. And he's literally about to, like, they're about to get in this fucking fist fight in the middle of the cafeteria. So then the dumbass principal walks over and Biff is like, all right, kid, I'll give you a pass for today. But just know after this, you got a world of trouble coming to you. And the principal is just like cool with that. He's just like he's basically just saying like, yeah, I'm not going to kick your ass today, but I'm going to fuck you up every other day when the principal isn't right in front of me. And then his attention gets taken away by by a paper airplane that's thrown like in the background. And like some fucking idiot, like he just sees it like a dumb kid sees like something shiny. He's just like, whoa, and he just gets like tractor beamed into the fucking paper airplane. Even though this guy just threatened this way smaller kid with like the ass beating of his life. Fuck that principle. I also never got how when like Marty goes back to the future, how it's never a thing like, oh, it's crazy that you look and sound and exactly like that kid who just showed up for a week at our school and was the reason your dad and I got together. Like, they were teenagers when that happened. They would remember him. Like, I remember people that visited my class back in, like, middle school for, like, a day, and I barely talked to him. He was there, like, really getting in their... Like, they went to the dance together. The mom, like, fell madly in love with him. He, like, tortured the dad, basically, into becoming to, like, growing a backbone, a pair of balls. That'd be great, too, if he went back and shit was just, like it wasn't... Like, it was like an R-rated movie. There was just, like, crazy shit. Like, real 50s things going on back then. It's like crazy racism at the school. Like, it turned, like, Marty goes back and he finds out that his mom and dad were just, like, hardcore racists. Just like his dad was part of, like, a white supremacist group. Instead of being, like, a nerd. Like, that's the whole movie. It's like, sorry, Marty, I don't have time to go with you to the dance. I have to egg the Asian family's house at the end of the street. It's like, what, Dad? Doc. I'm pretty sure that Marty and Doc were getting something on the side. Like, I'd be so weirded out. It's just like, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm going to go hang out with that old crazy scientist. We do experiments together on each other's buttholes. It's like, okay, Marty. Do what you have to do with the Doc. Doc Brown? Really? Fuck that. Ugh. I really have to take a poop. I don't know. I still got a bunch of work to do today, which sucks. Oh, man. I might turn this episode in early. Still kind of getting back in the swing of things with school and whatnot. Still feeling pretty just beat in general. Pretty bushed, as they say. But I had so many good things. I should have done this episode like 2 days ago. I had like a whole bunch of shit to talk about, but now I just can't remember like any of it. Cause I'm a fucking idiot, man. I'm a fucking nincompoop. That's definitely gonna be today's episode name too, Nincompoop. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. It's a quickie. It's a quickie, but a goodie. A quickie like Marty and Doc would be getting in the DeLorean when they weren't solving issues only related to themselves. Selfish time-traveling fucks in their stupid car. But yeah, that's episode 16, the Nincompoop episode. I have to go take a real nincompoop in the toilet right now and then get back to doing some homework, which blows. But thank you for listening. Check out the Instagram, the Nest Podcast _. Give it a follow, give it a like, all that jazz. And I'll see you on episode 17. Au revoir, nerds, nincompoops.